This is the Epic Podcast because sometimes fuck it
just fits.
just fits.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Come on out.
Coming out.
We're an hour and 10 minutes late. Come on out. I need to stop announcing what time we're going and just like go on.
Did we announce that earlier? We said 9.
10 minutes ago, yes. 20 minutes ago.
Earlier we said 8.
We always generally try to strive for 8, but
So we really strive for an organic feel. And
I feel like I'm about to get laid off.
And I'll admit that it's always me. It's always me.
It's gonna be yeah.
Next week, I'll be on time.
You are, because our guest is very prompt, so we're gonna have to start on time. Okay.
That makes me late. Like it makes me want to be late. Hold on, let me make sure that y'all can't tell what that is.
Because they're not paying us.
Back at it.
I'm not doing any product placement. I do have a Dora by Ann earrings on. I will promote her because she is my friend.
Oh, those are really nice.
Thank
actually.
you. I'm trying to give you Wakanda.
Wakanda.
All right, Africa.
It also gives me the shelter-in-place colors.
Well, stay your ass at home.
Right, stay away from me. Earrings. Don't come within 6 feet.
Don't come with me within. Don't come at me. What? What am I thinking
ow,
about? Oh, wow.
Wow, definitely didn't say that. So, number 13.
Number 13. Cheers.
Cheers to that. Lucky number 13.
Welcome to our podcast. I am going to be monitoring the comments as best I can, as I'm not on Star's page.
Oh.
But it's fine. I'll just see the comments and
I didn't tag you.
I will.
I can tag you after. I really want to stop it now.
Oh, guess what? Facebook just added, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Send a request.
Oh, because Instagram probably was. No, this is to be in the video because Instagram was wearing them out.
So now we really can bring you in on a quarantine bling.
So now, breaking news, you can be a live guest.
So watch what you say in the comments because I might have to bring you on. So,
I'm going to do a watch party on my page since you didn't invite me.
Yeah, why? Wow. I can't believe that I didn't tag you. This week has been
A lot. How is everybody's week out there in Facebook world? Let me know. But my week personally has been a lot. This is my first, not even full week, but this is my first a little bit of week trying to acclimate back into a little bit of physical work. Mm-hmm. Starting to see clients again. Okay. And it's a lot. It's a lot of nerves. It's a lot of disorganization. And it's just a lot about getting our footing back.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
To you. Did you have a good Mother's Day?
It
wasn't pretty many options to really.
So I don't know how other mothers feel who have younger children. Mm-hmm. And what I mean younger is like, especially now that no one's in school, like young, like not really realizing like it's a holiday young, like maybe 4 and under.
Okay.
You don't really get a real Mother's Day until your kids really acknowledge it. Like your husband might buy you a gift, but you're not.
Like your kids aren't. Just
I ain't get no macaroni necklaces this year, but
okay.
I did have a pretty relaxing Mother's Day. I got a Ninja blender. That was the highlight of my life. I know. I'm old. I'm washed. I love appliances now.
Welcome to now. I love it. It's going to be the best investment.
Oh, I'm so
life.
excited. But yeah, I mean, I had a good Mother's Day in respect of what my children are going to give, which is, girl, where's the food?
Like, where's the chicken nuggets?
But I will say that, man, I almost was emotional this Mother's Day, not because I'm stuck in the house and I'm in the house bored, but I felt so much divine feminine energy these last 2 weeks. Like, It's been not even just from yesterday, but just like these last couple of weeks. I think the feminine energy, I think the earth needed feminine energy. I think it's too much masculine energy. And that's, I mean, I hate to be like sexist, but I feel like, masculine is an anger.
Oh, it's
almost anger. It's almost a dominating energy. It's not always positive. Masculine energy, not masculine or male people, but masculine energy I think can be a little bit overpowering, and I think we need a little feminine energy to say, come down. Come down.
Well, I can say I get what you're saying. I definitely understand what you're saying, but feminine energy can also be quite dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. It can be emotional. It can be reckless. It can be all the things. But I think, first of all, that's why you need both energies.
Yes.
But I think we have had...
Within one person.
Within one person, because I definitely have a masculine energy. But I think we have just been... How I changed my voice like that. I think it's been a lot of masculine energy. I mean, it's a male-dominated world right now, if we're being honest, and there's not a lot of feminine leaders, not so many that we see every day. There are a lot of female leaders, but on TV, you don't really see the female energy leaders that we need. We see that one girl who be wearing that scarf, that doctor who be wearing that scarf. Like, girl, take that scarf off. Girl, it's not even.
That's the only one.
That's the only one we really see.
But and then the crazy thing is that women, of course, outnumber men in the world, and somehow they aren't.
It doesn't
run true to the leadership. As if you think that if it's that many women in the world, you'd think that people would realize that we need that, and we need that in decision making. We need that in the law of the land. Now, I can be quite honest as well, because, and it's not going to always be for the simple fact that they're going to always be the nurturing or come up with the best ideas, because it is some people who are just terrible. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, you're terrible. Mm-hmm. So I can see where we actually I really think this country needs, at this point, a female president.
We're ready. I think the earth is preparing us.
I think we need it.
We need it. We've had a lot. Listen, I was going to say something real out the box, but I'm gonna try to keep it cool. But white men have been dominating this country for a long. President Obama was one black president.
Right.
He was not like
out of 45.
Out of 45, and some of them doing double terms. So yeah, we're ready. We were ready, I think, for a diverse president. I think we're ready for another diverse president. I think we've had enough white men. We're good. I think.
I think so too. And not to say that
our earth is
we
not
really need to switch it up, but we just really need to switch it up, because with anything, with any teams, companies, even if you approach it, if you approach America as the business that it is, mm-hmm. people switch boards around all the time. Mm-hmm. They switch investors. They switch CEOs, president, especially when you run stagnant, and especially when you find yourself not evolving. You have to switch it up. And you see this when more women are in Congress. You see it happening. Now we can get just more women in the Senate, mm-hmm. just in local offices. You know, we have now Keisha Lance Bottoms as the mayor of Atlanta, and I think that some of the choices that she's made so far have been pretty sound. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why they act like women can't be protectors as well, because, you know, you always think that the man has to worry about war.
Single motherhood says very different.
Very different. And look at who are in every other animal species. Look who are the aggressors. Look who are the hunters in a lot of the cases. So we know, because I can tell you, I can't have no kid. Well, I don't see that.
I was raised by, for majority, I was raised by a single mother, and she was my protector.
The pain of it alone is something unfathomable to even go through, that you have this chemical reaction that grows inside your body.
I wish the female body, from the physical part of it to the mental part of it to the emotional part of it, I really wish it was a place you can go, like an amusement park.
Yes, to just
ride all the rides.
Ride the inside.
Ride the inside of Bonnie. Or something. I don't know. But I really wish that people could experience, like, you can even have different rides. You can have a black woman, you can have a white woman, because everybody, I'm sure, diverse wise, you can have a trans woman. You can have just so many different feminine energies you can ride. Because let me tell you something, riding my own feminine energy is enough. Right. I would be out. I'll be a one and done. I would have to go get a funnel cake after.
And I would. They would need to have a ride where they simulate the labor pain.
Absolutely.
For people.
That's the prerequisite ride. In order for you to feel it, you got to start at the top.
You have to do it, and I would think that another ride would be whereas you put on different trimester bellies. You know, and then also you have a ride when you put on different trimester bellies with people with twins, people with triplets,
octuplets.
People with. I would love. I don't know if we need to go up to the octuplets because it ain't really that many people that's having babies like that. So I don't need to feel that.
Put on the Douglas body.
I don't need to feel that.
No, I think I honestly wish there was some kind of amusement park that was like literally just a feminine energy of feminine. Like femininity, and you go through the physical, the mental, the emotional, just all the things. I mean, I hate to be morbid, but like a woman who's been raped, like you can ride the ride and see how.
I don't want to ride the ride.
You may not want to, but some people,
it happens.
But it happens.
Oh, what would the ride be? Simulating through their vision.
It would probably be more of an emotional ride,
and it would probably be something that you could basically
a postpartum ride.
Yeah,
like there could be so many because I think if we can understand.
We're copywriting this. This is trademark.
We're copywriting.
Y'all heard us say
create a big vagina for you to slide through.
We're having the vagina monologue amusement park.
Ooh. No, but I think, when it comes to female leaders, to circle back and people are like, well, we're not ready for a woman because women are too emotional. Women are too this. Women are too that. I think that's
because men are not emotional.
Child, please.
But that's what I'm saying. When people say that, so are y'all trying to say that men are not emotional?
Listen,
please.
If you say that women are all that we are, then that should, in my mind, create no doubt that we are ready to take on any and everything because just within ourselves, we take on any and everything.
So
I gotta get out of my watch.
Someone said that there was a show once about a device that had men experience labor pains. So we see there's already a device out there.
I did see that device, but I haven't experienced the device. I don't need the device. But again, I really feel like if we can just take 2 seconds to realize how much that females go through and handle. Some of us handle it with a smile on a daily.
Jeering, the cat calls.
Why were you just get? Hey, shout in.
And that's all you.
Well, forget you then, bitch. You wasn't that
cute. You got a man,
baby. That should be.
Can you have friends?
That's a Tony Award winning play. Forget you then, bitch. You wasn't that cute. If I could count on my hands how many times somebody has told me, "Forget you then, you tall bitch. You wasn't that cute," I wouldn't have to work.
But why was you talking to me?
Because I wasn't that cute.
I can't. But you know what? That would be really interesting if we could come up with a gender experience.
Well, what I don't want to do, I don't want to ride a man. I don't want to.
Why?
I'm not interested. I'm sure that it would also be an amusement park that we could explore.
But then you say that women, if men want to ride the women, the men be like, I ain't doing it because it's gay.
That's gay.
It's gay.
Everything's gay, and this is no. But I think for me now, there probably are women who are interested to understand the inner workings of a man.
What could that be?
But for me, I think again, the USA is so white man dominated. I don't need to know what no white man is thinking. But I don't even want to know what a black man is thinking.
But you know what's so funny? I'm just thinking like, what would be the simulation for that? And then I thought about it.
What, throwing tennis shoes at the door? The simulation for men in my mind is like leaving the spoon on the sink instead of putting it in the sink, or let me see, farting for no reason, or asking me where your keys are every 50 fucking minutes, or is that just the ride of my life? I don't know. But no, I'm not interested.
Then I was like, so the things that would be probably simulated are the things that are on the other side of the women's simulation.
Right. Erect penises in porn? No thanks.
And then be on the other end of some woman walking and saying, "Woo!"
You're actually the cat caller. Oh God,
you're the cat caller.
Anywho, so
y'all cat called too. So I've seen some.
I'm
some
an
of your
avid
things
cat.
in y'all Moody Mother group.
Well, first of all, I have always been, especially as I got older, I've always been really honest with men. Not now that I'm married, I don't catcall because I have no reason to. But before I got married, I got really honest. I think after about 24 to about 20, right before I met my husband, I was in the space of like, I'm going to say whatever I feel because what I got to lose. I'm like, you fine as hell. What you doing tonight? Like that, I was giving that energy. So I'm not saying I'm not.
But there is always a way. There's always a way to do everything. But the feminine energy, you know, first it started with, of course, Say So remix and Savage remix with Nicki, Doja, Beyonce, and Megan out there in the forefront making, you know, music exciting. And then you had the anticipation of the JILLSCOTT.
I love Jill
And
Scott.
Badu.
That was such a great. It wasn't a battle for me. That was such a great combination
Right.
of. You see how it made me want to be a better friend to my sister girlfriends.
Right. Just how you do.
I told my friend, I'm calling you queen and sister.
Hello, Queen.
Queen.
That's your business.
It just made me feel so good to see two women of such a stature in the music industry who have nothing to lose, nothing to gain, just wanted to share their gifts and not only share their individual gifts, relish in the opposite gifts. Like the way that I actually was getting like blushy. Like I was blushing the way that they were talking about each other. Like, no, Queen, when you played this and I sat in the front row and I was such a fan and you didn't have to.
She said, you didn't see me there.
Right,
I was on the
there.
front row.
The fact that like Jill was like, you didn't have to sing a song. You only the
Exactly.
only time that Erykah Badu has sung someone else's material.
Exactly. Like the first time that you sing something that somebody else wrote. And she said that was the first and only time.
Exactly.
And then, what did Erykah say when she heard it? Like, well, what I'm gonna do?
What I'm gonna do? You doing opera runs and
who is
it was
this?
such a good energy. I know we were all joking about like burning our sage and our Palo Santo and having our wine, but
it was
honestly,
perfect.
it was that energy. Like,
And you should have did it. If you saw the jokes, you should have gotten you some incense. You should have got you some wine because it was that energy. If y'all missed the verses between Jill Scott and Erykah Badu,
there is a
definitely-
recap playlist on Tidal, by the way.
There is a recap playlist on Tidal. They also have a versus playlist on Apple Music as well. Maybe we can share it on our F.it podcast on Facebook on our page, and we can ensure that we continue their music alive. But if you missed it,
You missed it.
you missed a vibe.
They said it was 1 billion impressions on that live.
Wow.
1 billion impressions.
1 billion
The earth needed that
impressions.
energy. That's why I'm like, we ready for a female president. The earth was
Like,
ready for
that
that
is
feminine,
amazing.
neo R&B smooth energy. We were so ready. But speaking of female energy, that is one of the rides that aren't positive and uplifting. So I don't know if you guys watch Insecure. If you follow us, you know we love Insecure. We try to watch it weekly. And one of the things I'll say about this season in particular is that I think this is one of the, if not the best season they've done of Insecure. Y'all know we got dogs when we record. We have to take the dogs to another room or they will ruin the podcast. But I think this is the best season they've made. I don't know what the writers have, if it was the quarantine, if it was prior to, whatever, but I think they've really hit the nail on the head because I think it was getting too predictable with the writing. I think that we were starting to guess what was happening next and all those things. So they really switched it up. And one looming storyline that I think is getting a lot of energy and a lot of comments is the Molly and Issa storyline this season. And I think it's getting so much energy and comments because it is probably the story of all of our lives at one point of our lives. Like at one point of our lives, we have had a Molly in our life that was on us so much or restricting us from growth. That's what I feel like it is. I feel like she is restricting Issa from growth, and another part is I think she's also upset that Issa is not in the same box that Molly put her in and taped up. Because some people put you in a box
and expect you to remain
and expect you to remain in that box because they want you to remain in that box because that's what they feel.
Because they need you in that box
and
to
they
make
need
themselves feel a specific type.
And when they get out of that box, then they like, oh girl, you doing too much, or you're not there for me anymore, or you being extra, or you a liar, or you this, or you that. But at the end of the day, I didn't put myself in this box. You did.
Exactly. And it just seems like, for one, also, there seems to be a certain level of envy. Because for whatever reason, Molly feels like, of course, she has to be this responsible, overtly protective workaholic lawyer to prove dark-skinned black woman in America needing to be professional while maintaining some type of relationship on her terms. And it's just a lot. And I think that she gets upset that Issa just can move from one thing to the next that is all in her interest, though.
Well, I wonder, if when Issa and Lawrence were in a relationship, when this series first started, Molly was single, but she was always there for Issa to kind of dump onto whatever her relationship was giving
while she was sleeping with
all this stuff, right? While she was sleeping with the married man. But no, that was even after. I'm saying, like, in the very beginning when Issa was really with Lawrence and they were in a relationship, but Issa was, kind of unfulfilled and Lawrence wasn't doing whatever, whoop-de-whoop. I think she always had Molly to dump into, right? Like, oh, let me tell you what Lawrence did today. But now she's with Andrew, right? And even if their relationship is on the good or the bad, you want that person you can share with, especially when it's new. You want a person that you can share the relationship ups and downs with outside of the relationship. And I think she's starting to feel some kind of way that she doesn't have that with Issa like Issa had with her.
But the only reason why I feel like she doesn't have it with Issa is because she gets in her own way.
Well, that's part of a lot of this problem.
You assume that Issa's not interested in your relationship or not trying to hear what you're trying to say, but you always come with this, never mind, girl. It can wait. It can do this. And you could jump to conclusions, and it just, for whatever reason, you just don't. I feel like she doesn't like the fact that Issa was able to move to another passion of hers or another idea, that she gets to move from space to space. Because why would you get upset? First of all, why would you know that Issa's artist pulled out of something that she
and not try to help her
and then say, no, I need to keep my relationship separate?
I think that's what Issa's point was, like, you want me to fail for some weird ass reason, and I'm not about it. Like, I talked to Nathan. I think she gets upset that, like, are you upset that I can still talk to my ex in a way that is not like being weird? Because she was like, you love mess, but Issa really hasn't had any mess. Like, what I thought was gonna happen at the block party, which I feel like they didn't do that because maybe it felt predictable, because I feel like that's what's supposed to happen. I thought that Nathan was going to be there, and then Lawrence was going to come, and then Daniel was going to show his little African fine self back up. That's what I thought, but that didn't happen.
So I'm glad that Lawrence didn't show up, and I'm also glad that Lawrence didn't get to
say what he wanted to say. And Condola did. Because when she was like, Lawrence didn't tell you, and she was like, no, because two things. Issa doesn't know how to hold her face.
Condola, exactly, that. And Condola probably felt like, oh, he didn't run back to tell Issa that we broke up, so...
But even though he did,
maybe I made a mistake with thinking that he was over her, but he did try to tell her.
That's what I said. But he did.
I want them to be back together.
Well, here's what puzzled me about that scenario with Condola is that, why does she seem so? Why are you weird with me?
Like, I ain't do shit. Like, what
even if Lawrence was still madly in love with her and even told you, like, you know what, I love Issa. What they got to do with me?
I didn't know any of that.
Why you gonna pull out on me?
Like, and we were doing this together, and you wouldn't.
You let a man.
And that's just how it is. It's just like, and even with Molly, you're letting a man or a relationship get in your way. I'm not that type of friend. There is no way. I don't care how mad I am at you. If there was something as important as what Issa was doing for the community, for the culture, for herself, something amazing that she's been talking about and putting her heart and mind into and making it happen and getting all of these sponsors and doing what she needed to do, I don't care how mad. I don't care if we weren't even speaking. I would be like, I'm going to cuss you out for calling me to ask me to do you no damn favor after I ain't talk to you or we not fucking with each other. But at the same time, I'm going to still do it because I'm not going to make you be no laughing stock of the city because you didn't have your performers.
Well, you know what poses the question? I think I seen this on Instagram or something, and I would love for people who are watching with us. That's my watch party by the time. People who are watching with us to chime in. But it posed the question of why do we not all the time value friendships as a relationship?
Yep.
Like, we value our marriages, we value our courtships, we value business partnerships. But when it comes to friendships, it feels like certain people just make it so matter-of-factly. Or like
it's not important.
If it's not important, or if it's just mandatory that this person stays your friend no matter what. Like friendship, like we always say, marriage is hard work. But we never say friendships are hard work because they are. Friendships, to retain and maintain a friendship is hard work. Like the friends that I've known for high school several years, it's work to make sure that I, at least even with our lives being different, keep in touch in some way to say, I love you. And even though we have kids and husbands and wives and all this stuff, I am still here for you. And because I'm hanging out with one particular person over and over and over again versus when we used to do that, doesn't mean I don't love you any less. It just means our lives are different.
Just different.
I think friendships that are worth keeping are absolutely hard work. I have friends who don't even live in my state, and I have to make sure that I'm checking on them and making sure that they're okay and they don't have any needs, or, you know, do you need to talk, or do you? Because then if you don't work as hard on your friendships as you do your other relationships, then you find yourself in a Molly and Issa situation.
So then the question is what happens a lot of the times is when you approach your friendships like relationships, then you have problem with the person you're in a relationship feeling like you're handling the friendship like a relationship. And you need to understand and have a partner and be with someone who can understand that these friendships last. These are friends that I've been friends with over 10, 15, 20 years. And the friendship that we have has no type of correlation, to the relationship, because then some people will be like, y'all act like y'all together, you spend so much time. Or like, you know what I'm saying? It is like, it's not that, but at the same time, I get to nurture my friendship.
I think when you first start dating someone in a relationship, I think it's very important to establish those friendships, especially when they're with the opposite sex, or especially when they're the sex that you're attracted to.
Exactly.
So, like, for example, before I got married and when me and my husband were dating, I was very clear. I only have a couple of male friends. Like, I'm not a girl who just keeps male friends. But it's very important for me to tell the person that I'm dating, especially when I feel like it has a future, to be like, okay, these are friends of the opposite sex that I'm attracted to. inevitably that I nourish, and that you will hear these names.
Mm-hmm.
You will hear me say I'm hanging out with Tony, or you will hear me say I called David today,
Mm-hmm.
or you will hear me say, oh my God, Kendall. Like, you may hear me say those things because those are males in my life, whether I talk to them every day or not. Those are men in my life that I have created a relationship with that is not sexual, but it is important. Clearly.
Every day.
But it's not sexual, but it's, I mean, people used to not be in Star because clearly we are not attracted to each other. But, like, I've had male relationships and people, have male relationships and people are like, y'all should go together because no, we shouldn't go together. Because
Yeah, we shouldn't.
We actually shouldn't.
It doesn't work.
And we know this. That's why
This
we're friends.
works.
This works. Us
And it
being
is
friends
okay.
work.
So okay. And I know this is not
Not that Cardi B wrong.
on. It's not Cardi B. Don't do that. It
It wasn't
that
on
threw me
Lil
off.
Sorry.
Say So remix #1.
Oh,
Nicki
wow.
Minaj Hot 100.
Oh, wow.
She finally got her #1.
Cardi, we love you.
So thank you. We love everybody. We love music. We love talented people.
Okay. Wow.
So do you think
Yeah.
you're capable of having multiple platonic relationships with the opposite sex,
Or the sex you're attracted to.
or the sex that you're attracted to? You know, there are
Multiple.
some people are
My glasses
such
are filthy, y'all.
such advocates of saying that once you're in a marriage or once you're in a relationship, you can't, and you're a woman and you're heterosexual, you can't have any male friends, and vice versa, or vice versa in every scenario. So it's like, what can you? Do you think it's successful?
I think it's all about, again, the introductions that you make and the boundaries that you set. For me, it's like this. There is no friend that I have that does not A, know about my husband, and or B, is not welcome in my home in the way of knowing that my husband will most likely be present. I hang out with my friends differently. Like, first of all, I haven't seen a lot of out of the 3 or 4 male friends that I have, I haven't seen a lot of them physically. But if I were to want to hook up with my male friends in a way of just seeing each other, whatever, it would be like, oh my God, I would love to meet your significant other. Or, oh my God, I'm having something at my house with my family. I'd love to invite you over. It's always going to be at this point, because I am married. And even though I protect my friendships, my marriage is a priority, right?
Okay.
I'm going to ensure that my husband is comfortable with it. And I think my husband is comfortable with the male relationships that I have retained over our marriage because I was upfront with him. It's never a situation where I bought out a new man 3 years like, oh yeah, Dante be tripping. He crazy.
Who the fuck is Dante?
Who is Dante, girl?
And you ain't never said that name now one motherfucking time.
You ain't said that name.
You ain't never said no name. You ain't said Dante, Deontay. Nothing.
No,
Nate.
so I think it's the way that you introduce things. Like, a lot of people get mad. They're like, my significant other don't want me to have no friends. Well, did you create this friendship within the relationship?
But look, what if you met someone in a setting after the relationship started, and maybe it wasn't recent, and so that's the perfect scenario to ask. Would you make any new friends?
No. I mean, me personally,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not in settings
do you
that
think
allow me
new
to-
friends.
my
Could
new
happen.
male friends are my husband's friends. So I haven't been in a separate setting. Even when I go with my girlfriends,
Okay.
most of us are in relationships, but even the times that I'm with my single girlfriends, because of my lifestyle and the way that I don't get to connect with my friends as much, when we're out, we're so focused on
Each other.
our energy,
Okay.
that outside energy. Now, not to say that we may not get hit on, she may not get hit on, I might, whatever.
But then, no, you're not going to form a friendship with somebody that's
But no, I'm not going to turn around and disconnect from my existing friendship.
Right.
Even if I was out with a guy I already knew, I'm not going to turn around and disconnect from my existing friendship that I rarely get to nourish to talk to your ass.
So do you think still, however, you can meet a new friend of the opposite sex or of the sex that you're attracted to and be friends?
I think you can. I think, however, you have to be friends with us. And not just me.
Okay, it has to be a friends with us.
You know what? I was at work today and I was kicking it and I met Star and he funny as hell. I want to invite him over for dinner. Like, for me, that's appropriate. How
to introduce. Okay, but you do that.
Yeah, and maybe I talk to Star more than you will, right?
But it's a lot of people who introduce their side pieces in that manner.
I'm gonna clean my glass.
So
don't introduce your side piece like that.
But a lot of people do. So that becomes the question: are you okay with making new friends with the sex that you are attracted to? And is it okay? Because a lot of people actually avoid making good friendships with people because that person could potentially have a significant other. You can double date and different things of that nature, but maybe you two are more friends. Look at someone in the comments talking about says no.
Well,
So,
I think you know
then it
yourself
becomes-
and you know what you can and cannot control. If you
Okay.
know that you are in a relationship, but beforehand you was a hoe for show and you don't know how to control. Like if you know
But then
that
would
if you know
become
that
with
you
ulterior motives, though.
exactly. So if you know oneself, I know me. I don't like dating new people. Like it's a cringe to me. I don't want to learn your new damn color. I don't want to learn what your favorite color is.
Right.
That's just not me. So for me, it's very easy not to be tempted to want to go out and get other male attention because that
Not
is
necessarily other male attention. Let's say that you were at a setting, at a party, at a dinner, at a birthday dinner, at an anniversary dinner or somebody, and you just so happen to be sitting next to someone who was of the opposite sex or the sex that you were attracted to, and you guys had lots of laughs, and it wasn't even on anything
that's happened to me.
flirtatious, and you were like, "Oh my God, you are so absolutely funny." I
That's
would love to
literally
hang
has.
out. And I would love to hang out. I have a girlfriend or a significant other, and I know that you're married. We can, meet.
That could be
and things, but we're friends.
That could be it, but I also think like for me specifically,
I'm gonna slap the fuck out of you.
no, I just don't have a
For
void.
me, I'ma slap the fuck out of you if you bring a new friend.
No, I'm just.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. But I think for me personally, I don't have a void for friendships.
Okay.
Meaning, my friendship roster full.
Right.
I can't even nurture the. I can't nurture
I'm
the ones I
exhausted.
got.
I'm exhausted with the
But
ones
I
I
ain't see
got.
my very best friend in this whole wide run. If she's watching this, she can vouch for us. I love her like nobody else. She is my sister. I don't care what nobody say. That is my baby. But I don't see her very often. So if I don't have
We
time to
busy.
nurture one of my one of the people I hold in high regard as one of my favorite people in the world, I ain't
got
sure even to
time.
make time for your new ass.
I don't have it. I don't have it in me.
I don't even have it in me.
So I don't know. That's interesting because like I'm a very social person.
Me too, but
Very social, and a lot of people always want to be my friend.
same.
And we always get that whole we need to hang
You
out.
are so funny.
We need to hang out. So then that's where we come into. Do we say no?
Yes.
And then it's like, well, why?
No, I'm
Is
very
something
much
wrong with me?
No,
Like, no.
I'm very much
don't feel like no
conversation at the
argument.
bar. When I was like single, I used to love going to hotels. Oh, this ain't gonna sound right. Hold on. Let me finish my sentence before you judge it. Me and my roommate used to love to go to hotel lobbies after work for happy hours.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
no, what we
I
loved,
saw that on Hustle. Starring Jennifer.
what we loved once again, like I think we used to just feel fake fancy and grown.
Yeah, we love to do that.
Yeah.
I used to go to
That $10 glass of wine used to
I used to go to the wet bar. To make it seem like
you were just-
I'm up there.
I
And
think
then
that
it's
just made me
mad.
feel grown. So I think like it used to be like cheap to drink like between 5 and 6. Okay. It used to be cheap to drink like 5 and 6. So like the $15 glasses of wine were
Yeah.
probably like 7. And so I
Right.
can do 2.
Right.
But what I used to love was that you would meet so many
Different people.
interesting people like Recently I went on a work trip and I went downstairs to the hotel lobby I was staying in, met a guy who owns like a vineyard in California. Now granted, we had like 5 bottles of wine, so by the end of it I was screaming, but it was just like such a and so I'm very much into the connection in the moment and then the check please.
Okay.
And then I don't need to continue this.
That was that.
This conversation has fulfilled me and I'm so glad I've met you. But I don't need to.
Let's keep in contact. Let's connect.
Maybe on a Facebook.
Okay, you'll say.
I
Here's
said
my
absolutely
Facebook
on my
Instagram.
social media, on my Instagram.
I think I start out with here's my Instagram. Oh, do you have Instagram?
Yeah, but like, let's meet up again at 5 p.m. We're gonna have to connect some other time.
As much as I like to take my she didn't even.
No, but she did do that. Is it the way?
I don't think she played that.
Yes, she did. Grits.
Oh yeah,
Baby,
at 9:56 p.m.
Every black person in America said grits. That's our burger call. But no, I don't think I'm the type of person that needs to take my connection past the moment. That's just me. But some people do.
Okay, so I don't really like to. I know people like to say that too, like, oh, we need to hang out. And we
but for what?
And I be like, those are the moments where I get stuck and I don't know what to say. And I feel like I should be like, I don't really want to hang out. But then it's like, then you come out like, oh my God, that was so mean. But it really wasn't mean. What's mean to me
is telling a lie.
Yes, we should.
And never do.
And then say, well, do you have your Instagram? And then the funny thing is you say you want to hang out. And then I'd be like, well, what's your Instagram? It's like, bitch, my Instagram. Like, well, what's my phone number? And I'm just like, well, oh God. And then you just feel like, oh, then I have to respond to your text. And then you have all of these other people that are texting you. And all these other people that are calling you.
Well, we're so glad that you're the high school sweetheart and the prom queen. God, but for me, who just went to school... some people have asked me like, oh, we should hang out. But, I don't like to focus on the bed. I just say, I love this moment. God bless.
So someone says that we are not practicing social distancing. We are absolutely practicing social distancing. We have
quarantined together.
We've quarantined together. So the antibodies or the strand, we've given it to each other.
But I appreciate you being conscious of the moment.
No, I know who it is. It's a Karen. And I'll get you later. But
Karen, cut it.
Come on, Karen. We're okay. Matter of fact, don't we have our civil liberties that Atlanta's open? So that means that it's over at this point.
We're not the ones protesting at the steps for haircuts.
I seen you also at the park. Not social distancing on your bicycle.
Okay.
So
don't come for us.
So I seen you at the dog park with Portia. So
anyway, we need to get into the doc.
But that is so funny. But to be honest, we really have quarantine since the beginning. Like, this is the only other person that we've been around.
If not, we would have decided not to do a podcast in the middle of this.
But we actually started before.
I mean, we did, but I think we would have.
We were not going to stop because you already know. It's my teeter-totterness. It's the Virgo in me.
Before we get into some, we're probably an hour in at this point, but when this week has sparked a lot of emotion and things. Before we get into that, because I feel like by the end of this podcast, I may cry.
Right, because we need a moment.
But I want to get into something that I thought was funny, and it's so funny how we don't let people live. It's so funny how we don't let people grow.
Yes.
It is so funny. And I know that wasn't where we were going with this, but I just thought about it like, we don't allow people to grow. Like, people who have done things years and years and years ago, we love to dig up shit for no reason to hold it against them. Like, what is that? Why is that our society to not allow people to grow and change? Like, it's such an abstract thing. I am not the same person I was at 18, that I was at 25, that I am now going to be at 35, and probably at 55 and 60. Like, God willing, I'm never going to be the same person.
I'm not the same person I was last night.
That's okay.
But I'm just saying, if you
I'm
think
not the
about
same
it, because
person-
I learned something yesterday.
True. You do. I'm not the
You
same
see what
person
I
I
mean?
was 3 years ago before I had my
I'm
first kid.
definitely not the same
I'm
person
not,
3 years ago.
I'm not the same person I was 3 weeks ago before, or
It's
3 months ago before
all of this shit happened.
So it's just funny how we don't let people grow. And the reason why I said that is to pad you all with the tea of us digging up Tyra Banks receipts from Next Top Model and how toxic.
16 years ago. Y'all done
20.
No, well, Danny's episode was 16 years
16,
ago.
but
specifically.
but they were toxic the whole 20 years.
But yeah. But so was the modeling industry.
But so were we for watching it.
And so I still. Because I would have said the
I
same
was sitting
shit
in that living
today.
room.
And I don't like Slick's Gap. Fuck it. I hate it.
love the gaps because my mother has a gap.
Oh, but your mother's Gap though? But you know what I'm saying?
It's different, but
it fits.
I love unique women. But I will say this:
Slims, Slicks,
at
whatever.
13
It's a
years
little
old,
too
when I
slick.
was watching, 15 years old when I was watching this baby, that was our life. We used to run to see Top Model. I used to love Top Model.
I love it too.
If you think about it, Top Model was one of the first of elimination reality shows that we had.
That is
we didn't
true.
have a lot of. Now it's kind of a dime a dozen type situation. But back in the day, that was something so abstract for us to watch a show, watch people compete, and then watch them get eliminated. Except for when Kaya was on that battle show.
You better respect me.
RESPECT.
Me. No, she didn't even spell it.
Oh, yeah.
RESPE. Me.
Kaya.
Oh, we love you, Queen.
Queen, did you not think we was
Did
going to
you
realize
find-
that you wrote that song?
Did you find your 10 hits to battle with Trina, baby? Next case. So,
Kaya, no. But
come on.
it's like we dug up. I don't know who was
Who
sitting at home.
started that
Who
shit?
sitting at home bored like, you know what we finna do? We finna roast Tyra's ass.
We need to get out of the house that y'all went and pulled up an episode of America's Next Top Model. Don't even come on television.
It's not
anymore.
even in syndication anymore.
It don't even come on no more. Matter of fact, it was still coming on and Tyra wasn't even on the show anymore.
Right.
And y'all done pulled back. First of all, Danny is still successful to this day.
She is.
So that episode didn't do anything to her.
If
and
it
then
should
they
have taught you anything,
compromised.
it's to be true to you and keep pushing.
And I don't
Somebody
care
gonna like
what y'all say, and you know, what you born with, and y'all can say all of that you saying. That's why a plastic surgeon is around. If you can afford it and it is done right, why the fuck not? Let me tell you something. I guess because I'm from the old school. You are in a beauty industry. And we know that everybody does not look like the supermodels that are on the television, but there are several people, however, who look like and look better than supermodels on the television. And even if you don't, it really doesn't matter. We are selling you a product. And now everybody want to be like, oh, we down to earth. And I can see me in you. I don't want to see me in a celebrity. If that's the fucking case, I can look at the goddamn
Star
mirror.
has said this several times on this
I don't want to
podcast.
see that.
I love to see me in some.
I want to hear my experiences
Star
in
wants
your
to see-
music.
You be rich.
I want to see you be rich, bitch. I didn't spend $1.29 and $9.99 and $17.99
For you to
and
be
buying
poor like me.
$200, $1,000 tour tickets and merchandise and all this shit for you to be living and drinking the same shit that I'm doing and going to the same places I'm going. I don't want you to be reachable. I don't want you to be. I want you to be the impossible dream. I need you to be that. And
Not the impossible dream.
what I don't want to see is somebody with a huge gap on the cover of a cosmetic campaign that you're trying to
Slick
sell.
is so pretty to me.
Red lipstick. Slick is amazing in editorials. She looks amazing on the runway. But when she does easy breezy, beautiful color girl lip gloss and her teeth are there and I can see the tonsil thingy in the back through that motherfucker. That's okay. And it's okay for the everyday. I don't want to see that on the ad in Times
You see why we need a female leader?
Look, I did because
Even the gay ones are toxic.
but I am an advocate of saying don't shame someone for how they look.
You just
I don't
say
know
sweet.
how I can say that, but you are in a industry of judgment, is what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying?
I think you can't get upset when people
because
judge
if that's the case, throw all of the criteria.
Well, you can.
out.
I hate people say you can't do something, but I think you have to develop a thick skin when you go into an
Exactly,
industry.
that
but
is
that don't mean you have to change the way you
superficial.
are. You just have to go in like, look, I got a big ass gap, and that's it. And
But
that's all
if you
that.
have the opportunity,
Baby, if you don't
to
like my gap,
close
walk through
it,
the door.
But if you, but if you have the opportunity to change it, and they paying for it, you say that you were talked about your entire life about this, and now you've come accustomed to it.
No,
So
she
that-
said she used to hate her gap, and her
Used to hate.
mother reminded her that her gap came from her grandmother, who she idolized and adored, and she decided if it's good enough for Granny, it's good enough for me.
But if Sutta could close her gap,
We don't know
back
that.
then, Sutta would have done it.
Some people do not like
If
their
Madam
gaps. Some people
C.J.
love
Walker
their
would
gaps.
have specialized in braces, everybody would have had them. I'm sorry. If you were able, I feel like if you are able, so okay, let me ask this. If you were
Slick
given,
Woods, if you're listening.
we love you.
You are
beautiful
beautiful
in every
no
single
matter
way.
what you say.
What I say,
Don't
but
you
if you
close
can
your
close that gap,
No.
close it.
But what if you don't want
But
to?
you don't want to, then don't want to.
Okay.
But also, don't expect a brand to not want you to. You see what I'm saying? There is somebody who is going to say, I love your gap. But for me and my brand, that's unfortunately not what I'm looking for because I know the reality of the world.
Well,
but we can change the narrative.
According to her backstory, they didn't even tell her about the dentist stuff until it was on camera, so she can give a certain reaction. And we know that's
well,
how
this
reality
is
show.
television.
Well, but if you
There were 6 seasons of exploitation. You guys knew what you were getting into.
absolutely, she wasn't on the first
But you
cycle,
refused it.
But it was still very new when Danny was on it. Reality TV was still very new.
She was on season 6.
Understood, but it was season 6 of America's Top Model that was over 20 years ago. Reality TV wasn't. We didn't have Housewives
We
and
didn't,
all that stuff.
But on Top Model, there was always a makeover day. And a lot of people had very drastic makeovers that was just completely drastic. And the thing is that in season 6, the budget overfilled into dentistry. And Miss Thing, you remember other Miss Thing? The white girl that had to get her hang glide pulled out? You think she probably was, you remember the episode, she's like, look at my teeth. But in the end of it all, it was for the superficial industry that she was working for.
if we're being really honest with ourselves, America's Top Model probably wasn't the best show.
It wasn't the best show, but it was indicative of the industry.
It really exposed the industry.
Especially at that particular time. So to go back 15 years today, now that we've had all of these campaigns about body shaming and things of that nature. And the funny thing is that if that's the case, break all of the rules against modeling.
Oh no, because fat girls, we don't get.
Why not? Because if the gap is okay, then everything is. You see
Well,
what
now
I'm saying?
I think now we're in a space where
But
we
they
have
still
seen,
do it to a certain extent.
They do, but I think I think everybody's gonna judge there's gonna be somebody who judges you, whether you are perfect. Even I don't know who you consider perfect, but whoever you consider like
No one's perfect.
no one. But I'm saying whoever you consider like a mecca of beauty, that person is going to be judged if in the right light.
Yeah.
Cause somebody ain't gonna like something.
Yeah, somebody's never going to like
Halle
something.
Berry is probably like in many people's eyes like gorgeous, but somebody ain't gonna like something.
But I could understand the comment that comes after you actually had the opportunity to do it. And then it was like, oh, well, this is just me, and I accept it. At the same time, 15 years ago, do you know how many doors you close by saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to be me in a superficial industry?
I mean, I think she realized that. And I mean, again...
And they compromise and close it a little bit. And she looks amazing.
True.
Still, to this day.
She's successful, but I think, you know, she gave up what she felt was comfortable enough.
She did. And that was okay. And it was a compromise because she wanted to go to it because you didn't want to look different. But at the end, we're gonna forget about what you used to look like.
I never want to go like this.
I've never had anything. We were all rooting for you. You know, she still hate Tyra, baby. But that's funny though that we do go all the way back to like 15 years and 5 years and pull out comments and
baby, don't dig up my
said this.
Don't dig up myself.
7 years ago. One time, I was extremely drunk at the time, and I don't even remember that I said it.
Did I say it?
But at this same time, 7 years later, am I really the same person?
Was I the person who said it in the first place? Who knows?
Did I even say it?
You guys, this week has had so much loss. 2020.
We're done.
2020, release us.
We're not even.
Release
we're not
us
even
from your
half.
hole, please. I don't know who 2020 is looking for,
or who made 2020 mad.
Who slept with 2020's men?
Yes.
Who took 2020's last gram of weed? Who did it?
Who took the doobie out the doobie ashtray?
Who did it? Who drank the last swig of Ray and Nephew?
Yes.
Who did it? Because 2020 is mad. It's upset. 2020, calm down.
Calm down.
Please.
We didn't even get warm in May.
You didn't even let the deaths lapse 24 hours apart.
Like, God.
The nerve. The unmitigated nerve. So first we lose Andre Harrell,
the founder of Uptown Records. Baby, y'all wouldn't know who Mary J. Blige was. Guy, Jodeci,
Teddy,
Heavy D, Soul For Real,
Albie Shore,
like the great Andre Harrell, and the very first person I thought about was damn Diddy.
Diddy talked about Andre Harrell in such a high regard, almost as a father-son relationship that
Andre was Diddy's mentor.
What I loved is that at that, it was, I don't remember what event it was, but he posted it today, and he talked about how not only Andre Harrell was so important to him, that Andre Harrell did something unique that a lot of black men need to do more of, is take another young brother under their wing, and not just like, I'm going to teach you how to be a man. I'm going to teach you how to do for yourself. I'm going to teach you the industry so you can teach it to others. I'm going to go low and slow with you so that you understand what you're doing, not you're just doing what you're doing. And I think that's a lost art. I think I used to be a Boys and Girls Club mentor, and I need to get back into it. I think it's a lot. Mentorship focus on the kids. Yeah, mentorship is a lost art. I think we no longer do that. We no longer take younger people and like really want to pour into them. We always try to say, you need to be a man, you need to be this, you need to be that, you need to be a woman about yours, you need to be do this. But people are now so nervous that, oh, now I'm mentoring a kid. People think it's something weird or sinister. I think if you're in a mentor, if a person has put their child into a mentoring program, it's because that child needs a mentor. I think you can focus on other things that don't necessarily say, speak to whatever. I think you just speak to that person, whether that person is a man, woman, or non-binary. Right. But I think we can't be scared to uplift and educate people who are younger than us, because the generation under us are stupid. But the generation under them, stupider. No, they're not actually. They're super smart. I think the generation, a couple generations behind us, they're starting to realize that the way that this world has been ran, the way that this country has been ran. How many generations you got behind you? I'm at that. We have. Wait, what is a generation? 10? We only have 2 generations behind us. Yeah, I said a couple. 2. Well, it just sounded like it was too many. No, I think we're on Generation Z. Okay. Generation Z is very smart. Generation Z is a Yara Shahidi. Generation Z. Nah, that's the one that's stupid. No, it's not. Yara is just one of the good ones. But no, ma'am. Well, Generation Z, X they ass out. The one after them, Well, that's my son. He 3 years old.
That's the one.
They ain't been molded.
The one.
No, but I think we really need to get back into the art of
If you are under
mentorship.
10.
Like, if you think about, like, when we were younger, and I know that you know this because I know that you were always in a mentoring type, like, the NACC, like, those programs, like, I was in Girls Inc. when I was growing up.
So I was always grown as a kid, so I didn't really get into those like YMCA and boys clubs and Boy Scout shit because I don't have time for that kid shit. I don't got time for that.
It wasn't necessarily kids.
I have a book to read.
No, it wasn't kid shit. You
and
know what?
It's a medical book.
You know what? Girls Inc. for me was an escape to be myself. When I went into Girls Inc. in middle school, I was such a weirdo kid in middle school, like super weird. And when I went to Girls Inc., you know, one thing they said is like, whatever you think is you, you do it. Like, I was able to be as weird as I wanted to be. I was able to like kind of explore different
Did you go to
parts of
summer
me.
camps?
I absolutely went to summer camps.
So my mom sent
with the
us
Boys
to
and Girls
summer
Club.
camps, and you know she sent us to the summer camps, but then our summer camps were like in walking distance of my home. So
you still
I would
quit?
always just leave after the lunch.
Well, my mom was a working mom, and
leaving.
I didn't have a key to my house, so I couldn't leave.
I'm going. We were like in the African American Museum for the summer camp. That was a very expensive one, and they used to send us, you know, to these summer camps. And I'm just like, you know what? I live straight down the street.
So I'm gonna head on out.
I don't have time for this. They'd be like, where did Anthony go? Where did Star go?
No, I really think we got to get back into mentoring.
But we really need
We do.
to do it because it really kept us off of the street. Everyone's not me as a kid. I didn't get into trouble like that. I didn't get into I wasn't an idle mind makes a devil playground. I mean, I probably went home. I probably watched, I don't know, Perry Mason in black and white and
But everybody's not
Golden
like that.
Girls
Or everybody
and
doesn't
Married
have an
Children.
example to know to chill out.
to chill and do that. So I understand that, but really, I really want to start some type of mentoring program because we really need to invest in the young people because those are the only people who are going to ultimately save us. I don't think that we're going to see a great positive change in leadership until the next 50 years.
Unfortunately, I will barely see it. So
I'll barely see it. Well, I'm going to try to hang on, but I really did try to, have a pact with my maker that,
you see some change.
about after 85.
Just think about the people who saw.
Please. I've been here long enough.
If y'all haven't seen on Netflix, and did I tell you to watch this?
What?
Wow, Michelle Obama's.
Oh, yes, Becoming Michelle. So I haven't watched that
Oh, wow.
yet.
If you haven't seen Becoming,
Okay.
it's a great nod to one part of it. She is in a church with a lot of women who are older, and the one black woman who reminded me of my grandmother. She was like, "I never thought I'd see the day," and I hope that I get that experience.
Okay,
She was
so
like,
I'll be crying.
I cried the whole time. So I hope I get to have that epiphany because she was like, it wasn't a great experience just for me. It was a great experience because my parents would never see that, and I was able to see this. So when I get called to glory, I can tell them that one. So I hope I get that experience. But I'm so
We'll see it. But we have to encourage our children to become a part of local offices, national offices,
and not local.
And I know
NBA
that
teams.
people say, "Oh, us being judges, lawyers, and cops isn't changing the narrative." It's not enough of us that are trying to be lawyers and judges and cops. It's not enough of us because we already have this mistrust against that particular system.
So we don't want to be adapted to.
So
or
we
involved
don't
with it.
encourage our children to be a part of a system that we mistrust, which is actually a bad idea. Because to be honest, the only way to police your community is with people who know the community.
That's true.
And then you're upset with people who come in who has no connection with the community and treat people in the community like strangers, like the strangers they are, like criminals, when you can say, black. You know black?
Get your
Come
ass.
over here. Now, I know your mama.
You know I know your mom.
So go on home. That's the type of stuff that we need. Not, I'm about to take you to jail. And this is your third strike, so you about to be in there forever because you stole a pack of noodles. You know what I'm saying? We do need that. We also need more people who are going to be the political campaign leaders. We need those people who are going to be teachers. Like, we need more teachers in our own communities. Like, we really need it.
You know, I thought something was interesting that you posted, and I want to get into it. We were talking about, if you just joined us on live, because we didn't went on a tangent. We were talking about the people who have died, the African American people, because there's been an influx. You know what black people always say? It comes in threes. We always say, don't it always do that? It literally, I don't know where that came from. I wish somebody would tell me where that came from historically, like why we think people always die in threes, probably because they always do. But like, where did that come from that we started to realize that? But Betty Wright, who was a musical pioneer, actually, you know what I learned about Betty Wright today? That she was the first female who created her own record label in the 80s.
Really?
So she released Clean Up Woman, which is one of her... No. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. She released... what's the other song? No Pain. No Pain, No Gain.
Okay.
On that label. So that was like a groundbreaking thing in the early 80s that she was the first female record label. But Betty Wright can sing you down, okay? Write you down and sing you down. So that's also like a horrible loss for the community.
Wow.
But one thing you said was super interesting to me, and I
wop baba loo bop wop damn.
Wow, that's not what you said. But Little Richard done died, y'all. They done took Richie.
They done took Richard out.
You said something on your social medias that Star Dr. Rev y'all up on his Facebook.
I do. See, that's the funny thing. I'm glad that you said that. A lot of the times, I really just like to rile people up.
He likes to rev y'all up. But I was intrigued. I'm not going to say I loved. I was intrigued by what you said about how you thought that the black community did not post about Little Richard as much as they posted about other deaths.
They didn't. And y'all didn't. And then, of course, naturally, there were people. It was all up and down my timeline. Baby, you saw 2 or 3 posts. It was not all up and down your damn timeline. I know what I saw, and I also know what tone of the post that I saw. You know, Tariq, of course, on Twitter, of course, wanted to, have the buck breaking, effeminate, like, just say rest in peace. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people make deaths about them.
But then you made the death and you had to go ahead and talk about the typical situation, whereas a lot of people were not posting rest in peace to Little Richard, a pioneer in music, a pioneer in black music.
In all music.
That's why I started with music. A pioneer in black music. And the things that he has given us, the style that he has provided, his legendary presence. Because you can say whatever you want to say. Y'all can try to continue to push this buck breaking, effeminate male scenario. A buck breaking is a straight male who has no desire of that nature. You're breaking him. Baby, I don't care what, I know y'all don't want to believe it, but people are gay. I'm gonna come closer. People are gay, and it's okay. Let it the fuck go. Because let me tell you what Little Richard wasn't going to continue to do. Richard, ain't nobody continue to tell you to wear that NW45. Ain't nobody tell you to continue to draw those brows on. Nobody continue to tell you
not that NW45
to wear that California curl, Jerry curl regime from Living Single Stat curl. Nobody told you to have those Diane Carroll from Dynasty shoulder pads all up until through the years.
Him and
but no, I'm saying after a certain time frame, they still buck breaking you. No, baby, you gay. And I know that you played in your movie that you were bisexual and things of that nature. Shout out to Leon. He plays everyone. But we know that you pretend, I mean, I'm going to say pretend, you were bisexual at that particular time. But baby, you turned into Jack A. Harry. So I don't know how
you
you was
Jack A. Harry.
That ain't breaking the book. You were who you were. You were who you were, and you had to do that interview back then. You had to do the interview. He
came from a generation where that was
where it seemed like it had to be fucking forced.
It had to be forced. It had to be hidden. He got kicked out about it. But I think you know what that comes to for me. I think what it read to me when I read it on your timeline is that even in death, we judge people for what they do instead of who they are.
And y'all never seen him do anything with a man. And
we don't really care because that ain't none of our business.
You never seen it.
That's not. Let me tell y'all something about Holly Weird. Hollywood.
Oh yeah, have you seen a Netflix series on Hollywood?
I started watching it. No, don't tell me. I started watching it, but I ain't got really into it because you know my kids. I got to be waiting and. Blah, blah.
No, they gotta be in the bed.
That's what I'm saying. I started watching it and then I said, oh, we can't watch this with the kids.
No, it wasn't what you thought.
I wasn't what I thought. But no, I'm gonna tell y'all something about Holly Weird. Do you remember that Cat Williams special where you talking about Professor Ogilvy was at the party?
Yeah.
That is.
Hold on, the person who plays Professor Ogilvy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He was like, Professor Ogilvy, he was in the room doing something strange for some change. That's Hollywood. Like, the people that you may not think is doing some freaky deaky shit, they doing some stuff too. So, again, it doesn't. It's nobody's business what these celebrities are doing. I'm not going there. If you're gonna celebrate a celebrity, or if you're not gonna celebrate a celebrity, that's your business.
And that's y'all problem, celebrities. Stop trying to be connected.
Well, maybe that is.
Y'all need to learn how to be.
Little Richard was never trying to be connected.
We ain't never seen nothing about Little Richard. The only time we seen Little Richard was when he showed up in the camera and was like,
they ain't never get me a Grammy. They ain't never get me a Grammy. No, but you know,
he made amazing music.
He did.
He was.
I saw a lot of celebration.
Everything.
I saw it on my timeline. I mean, me personally, but listen, it comes to this. You know, my Instagram is now open. It wasn't before, but who I follow is very cultivated to the energies that I need.
And look, so don't talk about people who are gay posting "Rest in Peace Little Richard." No, I'm talking about the community as a whole. Y'all skated the fuck over that.
I can see that.
I didn't see it happen.
But I will say this: was it also? There was a lot going on. Ahmad, there was.
Watch what R. Kelly. Watch what R. Kelly pass. Oh baby, y'all about to go. Some of y'all about to cry in your homes.
Who?
No, not you personally, but that's the thing, and that's
what I'm gonna say.
And
we about to think that I could not go on.
I'm telling y'all, when R. Kelly passed, people are going to be fucking sad. Y'all was mad at this nigga for messing with these little kids, and yeah, they are, and all the people that are. But watch the post. I don't care what he did, but he was a legend.
Well, that's a little unique story.
And he did that. Y'all gonna do that because they do that to this day. A molestor holds higher capital in our community than a black guy.
We know that.
Let's move on.
We're
not finna, cause we ain't finna go there. Y'all not ready for that conversation. Okay. But y'all prove it. Y'all prove it all the time. You proved it with D Wade celebrating his kid. I know some of y'all disguised it, and some of y'all disguised it as it was just exploitation of a child. You trying to protect the child that you don't fucking know. And some of y'all were genuinely concerned with the rollout. It was two of y'all, but the rest, y'all knew what y'all was doing. Y'all did it all the time. Like, even Dennis Rodman. Y'all done learned a whole bunch of shit about Dennis motherfucking Rodman. Dennis Rodman married his own self in a wedding motherfucking dress. And that nigga still is a part of the goddamn community. Let his ass die.
Dennis Rodman ain't part of my community. It's weird.
We don't know what he is.
Anywho, I will end that part of the conversation with, listen, I say this all the time.
Who else passed?
All lives don't matter unless all lives matter. So
until all lives matter.
Who else passed?
Black lives don't
matter. Betty Wright passed. Oh, Jerry. I'm about to say Jerry Springer. Lord, Jerry No.
Jerry Seinfeld?
God, what is his name? Jerry Stiller. I was starting to get scared y'all that they were only taking black people. I'll be honest with you. I was like, okay, that's 3 black people in a row. Can somebody white? No shade, and I don't mean this in a bad way. Somebody white gotta die or I'm getting scared. Jerry Stiller died as well. And if you are a
Who is that?
Wow. That is Ben Stiller's.
Oh, okay. So that's what I was gonna say.
He also played. I love Seinfeld, by the way. He also played Frank Costello on Seinfeld.
Oh, you should have said Frank Costello on Seinfeld.
And he was in Kings and Queens. I think like that was his last little.
He was the dad.
He was the dad.
Okay, so I never knew his name. The dad for Kings and Queens. Aw.
Wow.
Somehow Betty White is still alive.
Because Betty White is quarantining.
She's 98. Quarantine
said, look, they reached out to Betty White. Betty White said, thank you for being afraid.
She was just in Toy Story 4. Like
I'm
Betty
not going out the house again. Corona sick. And that bitch trying to
take me out.
So
and if you call for Rowdy, bitch, you are getting escorted out. If you think that you gonna take me on now, bitch, you got another thing. Step back 6 fade.
We're stupid.
Okay, we have to end this thing at some point.
We do. Let me see what else was on the docket.
Tyra.
We already covered Tyra.
She apologized, and people was like, Tyra, you don't have to apologize.
Yes, she does.
Yes, the fuck she did.
You
bitch.
apologize for actions that have hurt people.
Like that's what happens when people apologize. Allow them to apologize.
And just
can y'all leave? You know what grinds my gears?
What?
When people apologize and feel the need to apologize. Or feel the need to explain, and someone in the comments or someone responds with, "You ain't gotta apologize."
Girl.
Well, if I felt that I didn't have to, I wouldn't have done it.
You made
so let me go ahead and do it. I don't need you to say it's okay. You ain't gotta explain nothing to nobody, baby. You was looking for an explanation too. That's why you're here commenting, because you listened to my explanation.
Child. The NAACP, the National Advancement of African?
The National
Association of the Advancement of Colored People. I feel like I just
headed by Rachel Dunson.
Headed by Karen
Dunson. No, her new name is like Alakuba Kapisha.
No, we're not doing that. She's not a part of the show today.
She's African now.
They have started a campaign that simply says this: stop killing us.
Period.
And it is a bold campaign. It is a very in your face. It is not like which I appreciate the Black Lives Matter campaign, but I think now that I look back on it, I think that campaign was too nice. They are demanding that you stop killing us, and I agree.
We're gonna cut it. We're gonna cut it because unless we have another hour.
I know.
Do not go down this rabbit hole.
The reason why I'm mentioning it is not to get into it.
Y'all don't want to hear me right now.
It is because we will pick this up probably next week when we have.
We're gonna have to pick it up.
Our guests, because I feel
that's
like
what I was waiting on. Actually,
contribute very very heavily to that.
And the guests can also, you guys can double team with bringing me down.
Yes, we can, because I can't do it alone. But I will say this while I have whoever's attention is that. Even though I won't get into the subject matter specifically, I will say specifically this, that at this point, and I say this to the people that happen to be white, because I've said this before, there are white people and people who happen to be white. If you are a person that happens to be white, please understand this. And any white person that knows me can vouch for this, and I said it very clear and very emotionally. I have asked them, I have entrusted you to not only be an ally, but to be an advocate. Mm-hmm. At this point, I don't need the white people that I know to be allies. Mm-hmm. Allies for me are people who have reposted on their page or said they've ran the 2.23 miles and then went home and felt good about what they did. I need you to feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I need you to feel outraged. I need you to be upset. I have been a bit proud. I ain't gonna give you a lot of credit, but I'm gonna give you some credit of I have seen a lot of white people who I do and don't know get on their platforms that they use for everything else to say this. We are tired of it too.
We tired
and
of it.
Until Black Lives Matter, no lives matter. And I will applaud you. Take this now. I will applaud you to do that, but I will encourage you to continue the course because it won't be easy.
It's not.
And when you open your comments, you will get people who meet you with, well, this and that and the third, because guess what? We get met with it every day. So I encourage you to stay the course. I encourage you to now transform from being an ally to being an advocate, to using not only your platform on social media, but using your dollars, using your any resources that you have to say, listen, you all are killing Black people, and that doesn't sit right with me as a white person. And because at the end of the day, we as Black people cannot stop white people from killing us.
Right.
It has to be a community accountable situation. The community is yours that is killing our community. We can hold our community accountable for the ignorant shit we do. Because let me tell you something. We do some ignorant shit. And I will call Pookie them out when they is at a party during quarantine.
And doing bullshit.
Doing bullshit. So you have to call out the Karens and the Stephanies and the Katies and the Josies and the Michaels and the Trampses and all that. When they doing silly shit, like killing us for no reason, like driving and recording us being killed for no reason, then getting on TV and saying that they're scared.
And anytime I'm getting death threats. Well,
someone's
dead.
Well, someone's dead.
Because you followed him. You know what you guys can do? Let's say to the people, to the white people, not the people who happen to be white, but to the white people. You know what you can do? You can stay in your house.
Well, no, because
No, I'm talking about you can stay in your house. You cannot jump into your truck with guns and chase someone down the street. You can not leave your house, jump in your truck, tell your neighbor, tell your son, both of you guys, because the person who's recording, which I really failed to hear, is he also was cocking his gun
too
in the car.
Just in case they bullets.
Just in case he probably turned around and ran backwards.
Child,
you was gonna stop him too. You was gonna meet him with your gun. Let's not pretend you was there to just record.
You were there to execute some stuff too.
The thing is that had you stayed in your house, and if you felt that particular person was a suspect, and then you have all of these people who are like, well, you know, we as citizens, we have a right to do citizens arrest. The citizens arrest is if you see, if they are in the commission of a crime,
doing
if
a crime.
it is actively doing a crime, or if you know that a crime is about to happen through actual intel. Not because you're just stopping a motherfucker who's jogging down the street talking about he's going to break into homes. Well, where is he going to put the items? In his fucking nylon shorts? In his t-shirt?
I'm not laughing at it.
In his fucking shoes?
Listen, we will touch base on, it's not just Ahmaud Arbery. If I read off the list of names from the last, not even 2 years, 1 year of Black people who have been killed, not only by just regular like white people, but like people in the workforce, police who are supposed to protect the servers, you wouldn't believe it. So I'll leave with this. Again, I appreciate the white people, or the people who happen to be white, who have used their platforms to pray and use their platforms to run with us and do all this. But the next step is not allyship, it's advocacy.
Yeah.
It's beyond a prayer for us, because we prayed. We prayed too. And it didn't stop anything. God is an awesome God, but he also told us faith without work is dead. So now it's time to work. Now it's time to put your money where your mouth is. Now it's time to actually stand not behind us, but with us.
Right.
Because standing behind us means in front of us.
In front of us. Because
in front of us, you
need to dismantle.
You need to dismantle this. Yes.
And no, you probably personally didn't create it, but somebody in your family did.
Absolutely. And don't walk into it with guilt, because that gets on my nerves.
Exactly.
Don't walk into it with, I feel so guilty. Don't feel guilty. Feel responsible.
Feel responsible. And the thing is that I see the new outrage amongst white people.
Because they sick of the shit too.
When that video came out, because it was ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. Then he tried to go the opposite way around because y'all got him stopped. Mm-hmm. Your door's open, so he tries to go around this way. You met him. what else? And then somebody was like, well, if someone's telling you to stop right there, and if you only have your bare hands, don't run up to anyone with a shotgun. No, motherfucker, don't jump in your truck with a shotgun.
Listen, I think the video, as many times as it has happened 100 times, and many videos that we've seen of the Eric Gardners and the other people that have been on video getting killed, I think this particular video, especially at the time that there's more people in the house to watch it, this particular video, I have seen more outrage on the opposite side. So I hope that this outrage really creates a, like you said, a front line for us.
And the other one.
The Sean Reed.
Yeah.
There's several. There's not enough podcasting time. But
didn't know he was on live, huh?
But know this, we appreciate your prayers, we appreciate your allyship, but now black people in this country need advocacy, because you know what? I'll be honest, I'm not too sure it ain't gonna be me. I'm not too sure it's not gonna be Star. I'm not too sure it's not gonna be my husband or my 2 kids.
I could fit the description.
You know, when this all first really started happening, even though it's been happening for years and years, but when this really started, the internet age of it, and it really started happening, and I think, you know, you may think like, dang, that's crazy. But now you're thinking like, damn, I need to make sure that my black men and women are protected, especially if you're a black man and woman. Like, I've been thinking about certain weapons and certain ways to protect myself that I've never had to think about before. And I think with that being said, you know, the people that I know in my life who are not black and don't have those fears on a daily basis, when I see you being hush hush and when I see you not saying anything, it makes me really reevaluate, like, listen, the reason why everything is black and white to me as a black woman is because everything is black and white.
And all of that, I don't see color.
I don't see color. I teach my children that everybody is... No. You don't have to... You can teach your children that black people are black people and white people are white people, and black people are going to have a different experience in this country. You get scared.
Tell them the truth.
A lot of people get scared to teach your children color because they feel like if you teach your children's color, then they'll see the bad in it. No.
But there's still a box for me to check. So
no.
If you can't see color, why is there a box?
If you teach your children color, and the reason why it's a blessing to celebrate the uniqueness and the differences in people, then they will see that. If you teach your people, if you teach your children color differences and tell them to watch out around certain colors, or this person or that person is that way, then that's using it as a negative.
You can still see color and understand we are all the same. You can see color and still understand don't fuck with me.
We're not all the same.
We're not. No, I'm not talking about all the same.
No, we're all humans.
Culture, but from the point, if you close my eyes, if I close your eyes and you cut me up in an autopsy, I got all the same shit inside of me that the next person has inside of them.
You can teach somebody that we are the same species but different. You don't tell everybody. Well, if we go to the jungle, you're going to say, well, he's a cat and he's a cat too, even though he's a lion and he's a tiger.
And then they all cats though.
They all cats.
So at the same time.
But it's okay to celebrate that one is a lion and one is a tiger. It doesn't make it bad to tell especially like the women and men that I know who are raising children that are not of their race. It's super important to challenge the norm of, like, you're raised with me, so you have to learn my culture. No. I'm already going to learn your culture. Like,
it's everything.
Teach me mine.
Teach and be a part of that and not shy away from it.
No,
and not think that helping is to not allow them to ever experience. Because once they get older, you know, hopefully one day it'll change, but once they get older,
baby, the world is going to teach them the difference.
The world's going to teach them.
And you want to go ahead and get ahead of that narrative.
And just be okay. We're not the same.
We're not the
same. Our
same.
hair isn't the same. Our skin is the same. Our features aren't the same. We're not built the same. We're just not the same. But at the same time, we are all the same for you to leave me the fuck alone.
Okay. We got to learn how to celebrate our differences.
And you got to learn how to leave me the fuck alone.
And you got to learn how.
And that's just really ultimately what it is. Leave me the fuck alone.
You know what's so funny? I'm going to end this part of the conversation with this, is that I have a friend, I won't name that person, but I have a friend who lost her nephew a while back, and he was in the car. He was a black guy, of course. He was in the car with a white guy, and the white guy's parents said, they were talking about something. He was like, you know, when I was raising my child, it was very important for me to, when he got on a football team, it was very important to me to teach him the reason why Dante would be treated differently than he. And it wasn't because I wanted to tell him that black people were bad and white people were this or that. It was because when we are in a car together, when they're in a car together, he's in the car with his black teammate. If they get pulled over, he needs to understand what he needs to do to make sure that Dante makes it out alive, because he is guaranteed to do that. So I think that's the reason why we teach our children differences, because they will develop friends that don't look like them. And when they're with those friends that don't look like them, if they're in a situation where that friend has been put in a place where he may not make it out of that situation alive because historically his people haven't, then we need to teach our children how to advocate and how to respond to their friends that don't look like them.
Right.
Like, that's it.
We were so worried about law enforcement doing their job, but then when law enforcement doing their job, giving out these citations to these business owners, open up their shit against orders and taking their ass to jail, then it's like, oh, leave them alone. Baby, I need to make up your mind.
Anyway, it's so many exciting things that's happened. I've, if you haven't noticed, I've updated our YouTube page.
Okay.
I have also updated our Facebook a little bit, gave us the facelift.
Follow us, F.IT Podcast on Facebook.
If you're watching this, you should be following us.
Or not they may
But
be
I did a watch
following
party,
each
so if some of
other.
my friends is on here and you're not following me, it don't take
But
nothing to
follow our
support somebody.
page.
Listen, don't make me get on a tangent with that. It takes nothing. It takes $0
It's free
to
to hit
support
subscribe.
a free podcast. $0. You see how I shouted out the girl I bought the series from, Adorned by Ann, aka Christian? It doesn't take $0 for me to do that, because it doesn't. We're a community. We need to support each other. So if you are somebody who is on this page who does not already follow us, please do so. We would appreciate it. Post when we go live. Show our faces. We would appreciate it.
Share it. It's F space IT podcast on YouTube. It's F.IT.
It actually is the first thing that comes up when we put F dot.
Yep. Well, on YouTube it's no
Yeah.
dot.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
Well, it's
it's
the first
just
thing that
F-
came up when I searched for it.
Great thing. And it's F.IT podcast on Facebook. It is F space IT podcast on
Actually, it's a dot.
Instagram.
On Instagram.
It is a dot on Instagram.
Yeah, F.IT podcast on Instagram.
Okay, F.IT podcast
and then-
on Instagram, and F.IT experience. No, F.IT podcast experience at gmail.com to send in, your
Feedback requests.
feedback, viewer, listener letters.
The last thing I think I will wrap up with is I'm working on really something excited to have our platform expand. So stay tuned for that. Next week we have a special guest. I'm so excited.
Yes.
And that person, this will be our in a long time, our first physical guest, because again, we in Georgia, and this person I've also quarantined with as well because we work together. So I'm very excited. So please come in next week and record live with us. Remember, these are updated if you missed any part of it on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube, please. We would really, really appreciate that. Even if you don't listen to the shit, just subscribe and
listen to it
because
y'all ain't got nothing else the fuck to do.
And y'all wasn't sitting here this whole live for an hour and 30 minutes. Because I was barely sitting here. Lucky 13 is in the book.
It is in the book.
And if you want to reach us, you can get us on our social medias, whether it's our personal page or individuals. And we out.
All right.
I don't know how to stop the live.
I think you press
Bye, life.